All right, for those of you watching the broadcast, we're just about ready to start this final match between number 2, Jake Bredenbeck, and number 1, Alex Cardona. I'm Laura McCormick with the WRT, and joining me today is WRT Pro David Bobby Horn. Welcome, David.
All right, Alex is
for
one of the tops. He'll be serving game 1.
Do you prefer David or Bobby?
I prefer Bobby with my friends.
There we go.
My friends actually get mad at me because I put David Horn online all the time.
That's right. I saw that campaign for Free Bobby. It looked like it was successful.
Yeah, hashtag Free Bobby.
Well, here we are at Recreation ATL for the finals of the 2015 Grace Warrior Open. We'd like to thank you all for watching. This should be a pretty exciting match here today. Alex Cardona and Jake Bredenbeck, no stranger to each other. They've matched up several times before. Actually, in about the last year, at least 4 times between the semifinals and the finals.
Point.
And the first point for Cardona.
Should be an interesting match today. I would say drive serve is going to be the key here, but they both have good drive serves. So I'll just go on the limb and say if Jake hits his backhand well today, he'll win the match. And if he doesn't, I think Cardona will take it.
Yeah, I mean, these are 2 of the most powerful players on tour. So my inclination would be to say that they're going to have a little bit more strategy than just power. There's more to racquetball, obviously, than power, but it'll be interesting to see how they match up against each other here today.
Point.
And the first 2 on the board for Cardona.
Yeah, two rallies where Jake's leaving balls up about chest high. No way he can afford that against Cardona, and Cardona's going to look to shoot that ball 100% of the time. So he's got to bring it down, maybe settle himself down to hit better shots.
Short. Second serve.
Now, you were talking yesterday. I asked you to give the crowd some advice here, and you mentioned keeping that ball between 6 and 12 inches. Is that right?
Yeah, I usually at home when I teach my students, I usually say 6 to 18 inches. If you're swinging flat and you're hitting the ball flat, it's not going to come off the back wall. A lot of people think they have to hit it really, really low to keep it off the back wall, which is not always the case. If you guys watched yesterday, you watched Andre Perea play, and
0-2.
Probably one of the smartest guys out here right now. He doesn't kill the ball a lot, but he just hits the ball good and not off the back wall. He's not trying to roll everything out, and that's kind of a game plan a lot of amateurs can take and use and put it in their game and automatically get better.
Skip ball, point. 1-2. Hold it. That's a point.
Ooh, and that Bredenbeck's going to tie it up 2-2 here in game 1.
2 serves, 2.
We have our weekend ref here, Brent Walters from Raleigh, North Carolina. He's been doing an outstanding job reffing these tough matches here all weekend, starting with the quarters and the semis yesterday. He's joined us again for the finals today.
Out.
Yeah, Brent's done a great job this weekend. It's nice to have a ref that's willing to ref all of the matches, first of all, and be so consistent all weekend. I mean, made calls and missed calls. He's been very consistent in what he does, and he's done a phenomenal job all weekend.
Point.
That's a tough shot right there.
Yeah, nice selection there from Cardona. I know Bredenbeck mentioned earlier when we interviewed him yesterday that he's been working on changing his grip for his backhand, excuse me.
3-2.
Seems to be working for him.
Side out. Two, 3. Short. Second serve.
Point. And that's textbook right there. Good serve. Cardona likes to wait for that half lob Z and high lob Z to his backhand. Jake goes down the line, gets himself another setup, and then puts the ball down on the right. It's just solid racquetball. That's all he needs to do, really.
Point.
Smart. Jake looks really settled in now. Very comfortable hitting good serves, smart shots.
4-3. Replay.
Good call.
Looks like Cardona was looking for the call on that. They're going to replay it.
4-3. Short serve. Second serve. Side out.
Yeah, it looks like Cardona was going for that down the line shot. I guess if it's working, you got to stick with it.
3-4. Skip ball. Four serves, 4. Screen serve. Second serve. Point.
Wow.
Fortunate swing and a miss there for Bredenbeck.
I thought that was pretty fortunate for Cardona, too. Cardona missed that forehand right down the middle, and Jake just missed it right on over. He swung right over the ball, excuse me.
5-4. Side out.
Ooh. Going for that big swing. Side out for Bredenbeck. I mentioned these two have matched up before, most recently at the Columbia Open in May.
4-5.
They met in the semifinals where Cardona won and went on to win the title there that weekend. Right before that, they met the weekend before at the Midwest Championship in the semifinals where Bredenbeck won. And Bredenbeck went on to win the title there at the Midwest Championships. Getting some cheers from the crowd here. We have a great crowd in Atlanta, but it feels like the tension is high.
5 serves,
They're
5.
afraid to clap, maybe.
Everybody kind of settling in the match here, along with the players.
Yeah, it's a very focused crowd.
Point.
And before they met at the Midwest Championship, where Bredenbeck defeated Cardona
6-5.
the one and only time out of the 4, they met at the Pleasanton Open in February,
Side
where
out.
Cardona defeated Bredenbeck in the semifinals and then lost in the finals to Polo Gutierrez. And finally, at the Alamo City Open back in December, they met in the finals where Cardona went on to win the championship, winning his first title that
5-6.
year since the 2013 San Diego Open.
Point.
Wow, great serve.
So far, a very evenly matched game 1.
Yeah, it's looking to be a really tight match all the way here. Kind of see who can find something that the other can't do very well.
Yeah, so far all year here, these two have been in a battle with Polo Gutierrez. Ooh, what an ace there for Cardona. These two have been in a battle for the top 3 position with Polo Gutierrez, and so I would expect nothing less than a very tight final here.
7-6. Short serve.
Both Cardona and Bredenbeck are sponsored by
Second serve.
Gearbox Racquetball. You can tell by their apparel and their new Beltran collection rackets. If you guys go to gearboxrb.com and check out all the latest products that the players are wearing here this week.
Point.
Couple good gets by Jake. Cardona playing some solid racquetball right now. Pass, get Jake into the back of the court, and once he gets sitting back waiting for that pass, he goes on the pinch.
Point.
Oh, that's tough hands. Very, very nice hands by Cardona. Kind of stabs at the ball and puts it down.
So Cardona's on a bit of a roll right now, up by 3. Bobby, what do you think Jake needs to do here to break Cardona's rhythm?
A timeout.
Timeout.
I always say 3 or 4 points. You kind of want to try to take a timeout and slow down the momentum.
Skip ball. Point. Timeout.
Looks like he's going to go and exercise his right to take a timeout. We'll be right back with more of Bredenbeck versus Cardona right after this. And we're back here in game 1 of our final match between Jake Bredenbeck and Alex Cardona. Cardona now in the lead. Bredenbeck taking that timeout to see if he can break some of Cardona's momentum. He's gotten 4 points since they were tied at 6-6.
Short serve. Short. Second serve. Hold it, stop. Point, foot was over the line.
Encroachment called. Jake passed that dotted line before the ball crossed.
Yeah, we haven't seen that call. I haven't seen that called too much here, but it was called at least twice here this weekend. Crowd saying it looks like it's good.
Point. Awarded.
Jake getting very frustrated. Our ref,
12-6.
Brent Walters, taking nothing here from the players. He did give out some warnings and technicals here this weekend. He just gave Bredenbeck a warning.
As he should. Keep the players within control, just playing racquetball. No extra BS.
Shot out.
All right, looks like Jake could contain his frustration there and use it to get the side out.
6-12.
All right, looks like Rafael Filippini got our crowd worked up here and starting to make some noise.
Side out.
Quick side out there for Cardona.
And Cardona definitely looking more comfortable out of the 2 players right now. Getting into full swings, taking full shots. Jake's more in retrieving mode, and usually that's not going to work unless you're making some ridiculous shots off those gets and retrieves.
Point.
Wow.
Again, another reaction from Jake, and sets Cardona up.
And Cardona's capitalizing on those setups with his 7-point lead here in game 1.
If I'm Jake's coach right now, I'm telling him to take another timeout, and I'm telling him to go in and try to figure out something to get himself some momentum going into the second game.
Ooh, and with that, Cardona breaks the ball. I think that's what we expect when we have our 2 most powerful hitters out there on the court. Giving it up to the crowd. Well, now both of these players went to breaker in their semifinals last night, so anything can happen here no matter what happens in game 1. If we take a look at the path that these players took to get here, in round 32s, Bredenbeck faced Brian Stone from Georgia, defeating him 3-4. In 16s, he faced Nicolai Miramontes from Mexico, defeating him 8-12. In the quarterfinals, he had a tough tiebreaker against Jaime Martel from Chihuahua, Mexico, losing the first game 8, coming back to win games 2 and 3, 12-3. And then in the semifinals, he faced David Bobby Horn, who's sitting with me today with his commentary, from Stockton, California, winning game 1, 15-13, losing game 2, 15-8, and coming back to win in the breaker 11-8.
6-13.
A lot of power there from Jake, and then making him kind of run around back in to the back of the court. I know that's been a strategy we've talked about a lot this weekend, is really making these guys run, making your opponent run and wearing him out when he's out there.
13-6. Point.
Wow. Nice get there from Cardona. Bredenbeck chasing it down in the back of the court, narrowly missing Cardona. And a point for Cardona.
Yeah, first game point for Cardona. Jake's on the run a lot of the time right now. He needs himself more set on each shot. It's tough when Cardona's hitting the ball so hard and flat and making you move a lot, but he has to figure out some sort of way to get himself so he can start being more offensive with his racquetball game right now.
Good shot. Game 1.
That means Cardona takes game 1, 15-6 here in our first game of our final match at the 2015 Grace Warrior Atlanta Open. We'll be right back with more of game 2, so don't go anywhere. And we're back live in our final match here of the 2015 Grace Warrior Atlanta Open, where Bredenbeck is out there warming up on the court, and Alex Cardona taking game 1, 15-6. Now, anything can happen. We saw both of these players in the semifinals last night going to the tiebreakers. I told you a little bit about the path that both these players took, but let's go over Cardona's path. Cardona faced Jeremy Best, a local here from Georgia, in the round 32s, defeating him 7-4. Round 16s, he faced Samuel Murray from Quebec, defeating him 15-9, losing the second game 9-15, and coming back in the third 11-5. The rest of Cardona's matches went to breaker as he faced Christian Longoria in the quarterfinals from San Luis, Mexico, defeating him first game 15-4, losing the second 3-15, and coming back in the final game to win 11-4. And then in the semifinals last night, Cardona faced Andre Padilla from San Luis, Mexico, defeating him also in 3.
0-0.
Winning the first game 15-10, losing the second 11-15, and coming back in breaker to win by 1, 11-10.
Side out.
Quick side out there. Unfortunate error there for Bredenbeck. But both these guys have had some fierce competition here at the 2015 Grace Warrior Atlanta Open. Of course, I'm Laura McCormick, and joining me with his professional commentary is David Bobby Horn, who was a semifinalist last night up against Bredenbeck, taking him to 3 games.
Point.
So, Bobby, what are your thoughts a little bit here on how you think game 2 is going to go?
1-0.
I think at this game will kind of be dictated by what Jake does. If he can change up his game,
point,
and make those shots, he will have a chance. If not, Cardona will close this in 2. It's just kind of how this match has gone so far.
2-0.
Jake needs to settle down, hit good lines, stop trying to roll everything out, kind of like what I talked about yesterday. Be smart.
Get.
Great work by both players.
Great rally here to kind of open up game 2. Smart pass there from Bredenbeck, shooting it where Cardona wasn't. It kind of died there on that side wall. Is there like a special spin or something that Bredenbeck put on there?
It kind of caught the crack. Jake kind of went outside in with it, so it had a little tailing spin towards that side wall, and it kind of hit that crack. So just a little bit of spin on the ball. I don't know if he meant to hit that shot, but you know, he'll take it right now.
Worked out.
Down 1-0. He needs every break he can get right now. And then all of a sudden the crowd is livened up a little bit. I think they want to help Jake get this a tiebreaker. They don't want this match to end in 2 games. So Jake tell himself, come on, and 0 serves 2. get.
Nice get.
Oh, jeez.
Side out.
Wow, another great rally here in game 2. Bobby, I hear you making some noise over there. Sounds like, are you critiquing a little bit what Bredenbeck's shots were? Or
Yeah, he's just
share with our audience.
He definitely should be hitting his lines right now. He opened that court up twice, then misses that wide angle off the back wall for Cardona. He just crush the line and make Cardona make gets like that all day long. Like that
2-0.
diving get, he's
Right.
getting set up off it. So why change it? Keep Cardona running like that. Maybe even wear him down somewhat.
Ball's down.
Again,
Point.
shot selection right there is not the right one. You got to go down the line or get that ball into the backcourt. Cardona shooting that ball from right around the short line. You're going to lose most of the rallies against Cardona if you're letting him shoot from in front of the encroachment line.
3-0.
Wow.
Very nice shot by Cardona.
Yeah, Cardona looking really comfortable right here now with a 4-0 lead.
4 serve
Couple
0.
of good shots there against Bredenbeck. For those of you at home that want to see the path that these guys took to get here, go to bit.ly/WRT-ATL. Check out the draw there and see what these guys have been up to all weekend.
Five serve 0.
Ooh, nice. Gives Cardona a little bit of his own medicine there. Buried it in the corner. Pumping himself up now. See if we can get some points on the board as he steps into the service box.
Jake's showing some emotion. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go drive serve here. And he
0-5.
is lined up for a drive serve. Great serve.
Oh. Behind the back from Cardona. Right back there in that corner, and that's going to be the side out. Little showmanship there.
Jake does everything right there except that last choice in shot where he hits the cross court to Cardona. Credit to Cardona for making a ridiculous around the back pass right there. That was
5-0.
amazing.
Ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Side out.
Great shot by Jake. And Jake has a little hump in his step now, walking a little quicker to the ball, trying to get himself going. I see
You're
Z
fine.
serve here.
Side out.
Side out for Cardona. He's not going to let Bredenbeck take control back of this game just yet. I think that's what we see when Bredenbeck jumps right there in that service box and he's ready to fire off a serve right away. Cardona not rattled and traditionally takes his time to set
5-0.
up his serve.
3 walls. Second serve. Point.
A good time for Jake to call a timeout, regather himself, get a drink of water, come back in fresh.
6-0. Side out.
Nice shot there from Jake. We've seen a couple balls in the last few rallies kind of dying there up against that back wall and the back glass.
Yeah, and it all has to do with kind of what we were talking about, that down the line shot right there. I mean, he didn't even kill that ball. He hit it 12 inches high, and it dies. It doesn't really come off the back wall. And Cardona has to really work hard to cut
0-6.
that off laterally, or it's not coming off the back wall. And Cardona's movement laterally is not as good as his front and back movement.
Point.
Another down the line, another winner. And if Jake hits that, it's going to be a a long,
1-6.
long second game for Cardona. There it is again.
There we go.
Beautiful.
2 in a row for Bredenbeck.
2-6. Side out.
Pretty good shot. Jake missing his serve just a little bit, not by a lot, just a little bit, and it's just enough for Cardona to get his racket on there. Hit a great pinch for a winner.
I feel like we've seen a lot of players this weekend switching up their
6-2.
serves. You know, traditionally, I see most of the guys hitting drive serves and then defaulting to the high lob. But this weekend, I've seen a lot of Z serves.
Point.
It's a good observation. Part of that is because of the courts. These courts are cement. If you guys can't tell on online, they're cement and they're really, really fast courts. So the ball tends to stay up a little bit more. So if your drive serve's not coming in nicely, a Z serve's a really good way to still hit a drive serve and keep it from coming off the back wall for your opponent.
7-2. Side out.
Good shot by Jake.
And it is a little humid here. I know yesterday my commentator Cameron Meeks, we were talking about the humidity here.
2-7.
Did that have an effect, you think, on any of the slickness, you know, or some wet spots on the walls? That's what we were talking about yesterday. Did you notice that in your travels here this weekend?
Wow,
Side
that's
out.
a ridiculous shot, by the way. No, the only thing the humidity does is make us sweat a lot more than we do. I'm not a big sweater, but my shirts were completely soaked after my matches. And then you have to wipe up the court a
7-2.
little bit more often than what we're
Yeah.
used to. So
Kill some
besides
time.
that, the ball doesn't do anything different. Doesn't feel too different. It's just
Short serve.
your actual physical sweating is ridiculous how much you
Second
sweat in the
serve.
humidity.
I drink a lot of water in downtime.
Jake trying to splat the ball.
And so what's been working for Jake? If you had to give him one quick piece of advice, what's been working for him the most that he needs to get back to in order to catch up here to Cardona?
8-2.
He needs to stick with that, waiting for the ball and hitting the ball cleanly down the line, cross court, make Cardona run to the back. Get that
Short
ball
serve,
past
short
Cardona.
serve.
Something like that, but obviously not off the back wall. If he can do that, he has a chance. But right now, what he's doing is he's trying
Second
to
serve.
splat the ball too much when Cardona's in front of him, which is giving Cardona easy setups. And all Cardona is doing, hitting really hard down the line, passing Jake every time.
Side out.
All right, there's some love for Bredenbeck here in the ATL crowd. We are at Recreation ATL. We've had a great crowd and a great experience here all weekend. We plan to be back in
2-8.
2016 for another Grace Warrior Atlanta Open. Cardona taking his time right there.
Point.
What a serve. The other thing we haven't seen from Jake so far is that serve right there. There's something that he hit really well against me
3-8.
yesterday were a lot of really good serves, low and hard.
Screen serve.
Screen serve. But he
Second
hasn't
serve.
served. Maybe a fatigue thing. I'm not sure exactly. I haven't talked to him too much, but he has not served as well as I've seen him all weekend.
Point.
But that's
There you
tough
go.
right there.
There's that tough shot low and down the line like you were talking about.
Four eight. Down, side out.
Or at least he's chipping away here, getting 1 point at a time before he sides out. Let's see if he can side out again against Cardona and get back in that service box.
Eight four. Side out.
Ooh, and he does with a between the legs signature shot there from Bredenbeck for the side out. Off
Crowd.
the serve.
Crowd loving that one.
Oh, yeah. It's always fun to watch.
4-8. Point.
There it is.
There he goes. He's got that swagger back in his step now as he's 3 away from tying it up in game 2 of our final match
5-8.
here at the Grace Warrior Atlanta Open.
Point.
That serves a very good serve.
Timeout.
And a great timeout by Cardona. Smart.
Yeah, it's got some great racquetball happening here in the finals, and we have more of game 2 right after a word from our sponsors. And we're back here in game 2 of our final match between Bredenbeck and Cardona, 2 Gearbox sponsored players. So we have a special offer for those of you watching. If you go to gearboxrb.com today and make your purchase today only, you will get a free cotton tee when you enter the promo code in all caps, WRTATL. So go to gearboxrb.com right now and place your order because it's only going to last for today. Thank you for watching the Grace Warrior Atlanta Open. Don't forget to enter that promo code WRTATL.
Time's in.
We're back here where in game 2 of our final matchup here, where Bredenbeck is making a little bit of a comeback here, trying to close the gap against Cardona. Cardona winning game 1 15-6. And there's Bredenbeck in the service box.
That's tough.
All right, looks like Bredenbeck's roll will continue as he gets another point against Cardona. Cardona calling that timeout didn't do him any justice.
Oh,
you might have heard me.
good idea for Jake to try to switch it up a little bit. Just to keep Cardona honest, not cheating that Z serve. Z serve is really good. We've seen
8-7.
Kobe Iwasa beat Cardona with that, come back and beat Cardona in Chicago with that Z serve, so it's a good thing. I don't think Cardona has seen it too much besides maybe last night against Perea.
Point.
There's Cardona hitting that shot down the line, just out of reach for Bredenbeck.
Non-7. Point.
Cardona definitely has his confidence back as he's in the front of the court now. Serving and in control a little bit, getting 2 more points there. Excuse me, 1 more point.
10-7. Two bounces.
Yep, and Cardona settled back in, having Jake on the move again. Good serves are setting his points up really well.
11-7. Bounce down.
Big setup there for Jake. He's able to bury it back in the corner, has Cardona chasing it down. Couple weird bounces there off the wall. Side out for Bredenbeck.
7-11.
Cardona maybe slowing Jake down there for a second. Checking the knee pad.
Side out.
It's a great shot. Again, Jake hitting a pretty decent serve there. But against Cardona, you can't really leave it off the back wall at all. He's really comfortable in shooting those balls. Even if they're only coming off a few inches, he puts that ball right down in that left corner. Beautiful.
Side out.
What a return by Jake. This is almost a perfect serve right there. Jake just barely gets his racket on, hits a good ceiling ball.
Keeps it alive.
7-11. Jake needs a point here.
Looks like he's going to switch up his serve again.
7-11.
Again, off the back wall, barely. Just off the back wall a little bit. And that is the difference against Cardona. You cannot leave that ball off the back wall. You want him cutting it off.
Bouncing off the ball a little bit too much.
He's just
gives Cardona enough room to hit it.
Exactly, exactly. He needs Cardona to hit that ball before it touches the back wall is what he wants him to do. Great shot. I think fortunate for Jake. I thought that serve was short.
But I guess it's a bit of the ball nose, and so there's a big side out for Bredenbeck. They've been stuck here at 7-11 or a couple of times.
Point.
That's the third time in like 5 points where Jake has let the ball go through his legs off the back wall and then put it down. I don't know how he has the reaction to do it every time like that. It's pretty fun to watch.
8-11.
Jake has a lot of years in the game. I know he's been playing basically his whole life dedicated to racquetball.
Side out.
I'm pretty sure he was born with a racket in his hand.
Yeah. He does come from a big racquetball family as well. Both his parents are in the Hall of Fame for racquetball, living out there in Minnesota. Shout out to his mom, Karen. I know she's watching Jake here with the WRT.
Hi, Mrs. Bredenbeck.
Second serve.
And his brother, Sam Bredenbeck, current champion as well in the USA juniors.
Wow. That's awesome.
Eight 11.
All right, it's 1 point at a time here for Bredenbeck.
Great serve.
Just short there, some frustration and emotion as we've seen so far here in both games for Bredenbeck.
Yeah, Jake brings an intenseness to
11 serves 8.
To the tour that almost no guy can compare to. He's very, very intense. He hates losing. I wouldn't say more than everybody else, but he physically and visually, he hates it more than anybody.
Physically and visually, yeah. There's some more intimidation.
Side out.
Huge swing there from Bredenbeck for a side out. He's pumping himself out there, telling himself to be smart.
8-11.
Got to be your own coach and cheerleader out there on the court as well.
Side out.
Unfortunate side out. He made a nice adjustment a little too late.
Eleven serves 8.
Broken ball.
Wasn't sure. I couldn't tell from that frustration.
These beasts of racquetball players hitting the ball so hard.
Yeah, I mean,
Every
no matter
shot.
how great that gearbox black ball is, when you have Cardona and Bredenbeck inside the court, there's going to be some broken balls.
Well, I can't break a gearbox ball to save my life, but these guys break 2 in one game. I don't know what's going on.
11
Or
serves
2 in
8.
one match. You have to be hitting it hard.
Timeout.
I'm going to say Bredenbeck's taking a timeout there as Cardona gets another point. We'll be right back after this. And we're back live here in game 2 of our final match between Jake Bredenbeck and Alex Cardona, two players who are also recipients of the benefits of the Reaching Your Dream Foundation. Reaching Your Dream Foundation helps promote the long-term viability of sports like racquetball and helps supports these players and their dreams of playing professionally. If you go to give2rydf.org, you can not only find out more information, but you can make a donation today. Help players like Cardona, Bredenbeck, Bobby Horn, Sebastian Franco, get these guys out there living their dreams and getting to tournaments. Thank you to the Reaching Your Dream Foundation, an official tour partner here with the WRT. And here we go. Looks like Cardona is ready to keep serving here against Bredenbeck in game 2 of our final match.
Wow.
Side out.
Good timeout for Bredenbeck. Gets him the side out.
Frustration swing right there. That ball was hit very hard and low.
8-12.
Nice anticipation from Bredenbeck.
Point.
Cardona chasing it down the opposite side of the court, just short there. Nice rally here in game 2.
Some ridiculous gets. Cardona almost actually rolling that ball. That was a lot closer than I expected it to be.
Gonna wipe down the court as these guys are diving all over the floor in game 2, working really hard. And it's super hot. All right, here's
Non-serve
Bredenbeck
12.
in the service box with 9. Wow, what a serve.
Ridiculous.
What a serve. There's an ace from Bredenbeck. Two of our best servers in terms of aces out there right now on the court.
Point.
There
And
we
a
go.
timeout by
3 in a
Cardona.
row.
Timeout.
3 in a row for Bredenbeck, forcing Cardona to take a timeout, and so are we. Don't go anywhere. We have lots more of game 2 here as things heat up in Hotlanta. And we're back in game 2 where Bredenbeck's turning up the heat and putting some pressure on Cardona with 3 points in a row there. If you guys are loving what you're seeing here today, don't forget to tune in next weekend. Well, we will be in Sarasota, Florida for the 2015 Suncoast Open. You can, of course, watch the live free streaming broadcast on worldracquetballtour.com or gearboxrb.com. We'll be live streaming the quarterfinals and the semifinals and the finals on Saturday and Sunday. You can also go to worldracquetballtour.com to check out all of our upcoming tournaments that we have for the rest of the year. And you can bet we're planning to come back in 2016 to Atlanta.
11 serves 12.
Here we go, game 2, Bredenbeck serving now.
Point.
And another ace for Bredenbeck. That's going to tie it up 12-12 here in game 2.
12 serves 12.
Chances are high now of going to break. Wow. What a save from Cardona.
Side out.
Amazing rally.
Amazing, but on that last ball, I heard somebody in the crowd go, uh-oh, as Cardona wound up to swing that. Hits it down the line just past Bredenbeck. Great rally here in game 2. Tied up now in game 2, 12-12, with Cardona's opportunity to answer back to Bredenbeck's 4-point run there. Bredenbeck checking the ball.
12 serves 12.
Jake playing a lot better now. Did everything right. Went for a reverse pinch that last rally. That probably cost him that rally. And
Short.
actually, Cardona just made that around the back off the back wall. It was kind of an awkward get, but kept him in the rally somehow.
Point.
That's tough.
Wow. Cardona nodding his head, bumping himself up a little bit out there as well. Shoots it past Bredenbeck.
13-12. Point.
Match point. Match point number 1 for Alex Cardona.
Timeout.
And a timeout.
2 points in a row there for Cardona to bring him to match point, forcing Jake now to take a timeout. We'll be right back and see if Cardona can finish it out right here. Welcome back to our very exciting final here at the 2015 Grace Warrior Atlanta Open, as Cardona now in a position to close out the match here 14-12 against Jake Bredenbeck, who has had an incredible run to get him up here this close to Cardona. Let's see if he can side out and keep the match alive, sending us to breaker.
14 serves 12.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Match.
What an amazing rally to end our final here today. Of course, we're going to get some words from the players, so don't go anywhere. What an amazing final. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for sticking around, and standing ovation there for our players. Let's go ahead and bring out Alex Cardona and get a few words from him. Okay. We have our translator, Rafael Filippini, here from Gearbox. Thank you, Rafa. So Cardona, another championship for you here with the WRT. How are you feeling going up against Bredenbeck?
No, pues me siento muy feliz por haber ganado otra vez otro campeonato del WRT. Pues ya que este torneo fue un poco difícil para mí, en la mayoría de los partidos me fui a 3 sets.
Wait. I feel very happy to have won the championship here with the WRT. He says this particular tournament he had a lot of tiebreakers, so it was a tough battle all the way through so far.
And so this is your 5th WRT title here. How are you feeling now? You're going to go play back-to-back events next weekend. What do you do to recover?
Pues primero que nada descansar para seguir en mi mejor juego, ya que pues como dije este torneo fue muy difícil para mí. Entonces solamente descansar y pues echarle ganas para el otro torneo para ganar otra vez el campeonato.
So the first thing is to get some rest in between the next match or the next tournament next week. That's going to be his priority to rest and be prepared since he had a very difficult tournament here in Atlanta. So getting rest is a priority for him.
Okay, anyone else you would like to thank? And any final thoughts on your experience here in Atlanta?
Gracias a todos los patrocinadores, a la gente de aquí de Georgia. Me han tratado muy bien. Estoy muy contento porque les dio alegría vernos aquí. Entonces me siento muy contento que demos esa satisfacción a los señores de aquí, ¿no? Y pues gracias a todos y a mi familia, a mi novia y pues a Gearbox. Gracias.
So first, I'd like to thank all the sponsors and everybody that came out here to support him for this event, which was really tough. We'd also like to thank his family, his girlfriend, and Gearbox.
Well, congratulations, felicidades, and make sure you guys tune in next week. You can watch more of Alex Cardona while he'll be at the Suncoast Open. Of course, you can watch our live streaming on gearboxrb.com or worldracquetballtour.com. Thank you very much, Alex. Congratulations. I think we'll bring out Jake Bredenbeck. I was going to bring him out first, but I got a little nervous. It's a little intimidating. Jake, you've played fantastic here all weekend. Just want to preface and start with that. Congratulations on making it to the finals. Can you talk a little bit about your feelings on the match here today?
First off, Alex played really well, as always. He's always a tough player to play with his power and speed. So congratulations to him for another win. As for me, just started too slow. Just didn't feel comfortable in the first game again. And it's disappointing to make it this far and not play how you want to. So, but got another tournament next week, so try and rest up and get ready for that, and hopefully take care of business next week.
You've had some tough matches here all weekend as well. Can you talk a little bit about your experience in the ATL?
No, it's been good. Thank all you guys for coming out. Thanks everyone for supporting the tournament and all the sponsors here. It's been fun. It's going to be fun to come back here next year. Hopefully you guys put on another tournament, so it'll be good to come back. And thanks to Rafa and Gearbox for sponsoring me. The Reaching Your Dream Foundation for helping all of us players get around and, play the sport that we love and help us, be able to do what we want to do. Thanks to Pablo and the WRT. And thanks to my family and friends who always support me.
All right, well, congratulations, Jake. We'll see him next weekend as well at the Suncoast Open. Of course, thank you all for coming out and supporting the tournament. Thank you to those at home for watching. We'll be back here next year in 2016, so mark your calendars. Go ahead and check out the rest of our schedule at worldracquetballtour.com. Thank you, Atlanta. You've been wonderful.